So now we've got our starting chain. We're going to do a single crochet stitch. So we're going to work back into this starting chain and we're going to go straight in on that second blue one because that first blue one's going to give us the height of the stitch. It's called now the turning chain because that chain is going to turn it. So we're going to go into the work, bring the yarn back to the front of the work. So you've got two bits of yarn on there. Bring the yarn round and down through those two, and that's the American single crochet, so UK double crochet. So we're going to go in, bring the yarn back out, round and off. Can you see how the variegated colours are helping? Because I can see that that's the next stitch, the pink one, and then we've got a nice yellow one, a lighter yellow one, a blue one, another blue one, purple and a pink right at the end. So we can see clearly. And if you're not sure whether you've worked a stitch or not, pull your hook like that and you can see there's definitely wool being worked into that purple one. So our next stitch is the pink one. So I'm going to go in, bring the yarn back out, round, and work those two off. And you just continue the single crochet stitch all the way along. In, out, round and off. I teach in US terminology. I sometimes say the UK terminology, but I like the US terminology. It just makes more sense. So that's what I teach in. So when you're looking at patterns, if you learn with me, you need to look for the American patterns, but that's what's mostly predominantly online anyway. So yeah, you're off to a good start. So in, bring the yarn back round and off. And as I say, I do an online crochet course, which you can check out at grannyannie.com. That's one N in Granny and one N in Annie.com. And there's also a free beginner's guide to crochet available in the description box. That'll help you with your beginner stitches. And this is the single crochet. So when you get to the end of your starting chain, oh, it's curling up a little bit there, we'll have a row of single crochets. And then to keep working in the straight, we do a turning chain, and it's a turning chain of one, just like the starting chain, and then turn the work, and we're going to work back in to these stitches here. And can you see where I've kept it nice and loose? I can work easily back into there. If you're finding that you're really struggling to get your hook in, try and loosen up. Don't tug on the yarn when you're crocheting. And if you find it really difficult, use a bigger hook for your starting chain and then a smaller hook for the rest of the work. So in proper placement of single crochets, I won't worry about it too much while you're learning just the flow of the stitch, but for later on, this turning chain works this first stitch here. Can you see it? Sort of stands above it. So we're going to go in on this pink one next because that purple and pink works that greeny one there. So we're doing single crochet. We're going to go into the work, and the proper placement here is under the 2. So you've got like a V. So you've just poked it in the work and gone under the 2. Sometimes a pattern will ask you to use the front part of the stitch, and sometimes it'll ask you to use the back part of the stitch. But as you can see, it will give you a lacy effect. So if the pattern doesn't say that and you want a bit of crochet material that sort of holds together, go under the 2 and bring the yarn back with you. And then you've got 2 on your hook, and you're going to wrap around and work those two off. In on the next one, which is a blue one, under the two bits, bring the yarn back with you to the front of the work, round, and work those two off. And as I say, if you're not sure whether you've done a stitch or not, pull your hook that way a little bit, and you can clearly see that there's yarn in that stitch, but there's nothing in this next one. So that's the next one we're going to go in and place it. Oh, I've only gone under one there. Place it under the two, bring the yarn back with you, round, and work those two off. And that's a single crochet stitch. It has a turning chain of 1 at the end, and it's a nice, flowy, simple stitch. And you can make anything with this stitch. You can make a phone cover, you can make a blanket. When I learnt to crochet, I crocheted a blanket in each stitch. So I could just think to myself, right, this is the single crochet, and then just get used to the flow of the stitches, and then that's when it becomes relaxing and really nice, good fun. Just poke it into that last one. It doesn't look much like a stitch, but it is. So if you find that your work is decreasing, going in at the sides, it will be that you're not picking up that last stitch that doesn't look like a stitch. So I got to the end of my row again. That was nice and quick. And as you can see, I've got a nice little bit of material that if I went a bit longer, I could make it into a bracelet or a hairband. Or if I went a bit bigger this way, a phone case, sew up the sides. So you pop it together like that and sew up the sides. So that's your single crochet.